this video I want to give my pick for this fight between Marvin Vettori and Roman Dolidze that is scheduled to take place at UFC 286. So we have Roman and Marvin. So not the best picture of Marvin here, but let's get started. So here I have some stats for both these fighters, and let's start with Marvin. So in 25 fights he has had 18 wins and 6 losses. Out of the wins, 2 wins by knockout, 9 by submission, 7 by decision, and he also has a draw. And if we talk about the losses, all the losses have come via decision and decision only. So he doesn't get knocked out, he has a pretty solid chin, he doesn't get submitted. This is due to the fact that middleweight doesn't have a lot of submission artists. In fact, they don't have any good submission artist in the division. The division is really one-dimensional in that aspect, that it is lacking the killer submission guys that we see at 155, 135. That's not there at 185. So if we see, most of his wins have come via submission or decision, just 2 wins by knockout. So we can see just from his record that he's a mostly he's a fighter who goes to the distance, and if he wants to finish you, he'll likely go for a sub. Now let's look at Roman Dolidze. So in 13 fights he has 12 wins and 1 loss, so significantly less experience than Marvin Vettori. So Marvin has almost twice the number of fights, and if we talk about the 12 wins, he has 7 wins by knockout, 3 by submission and 2 by decision. So this is the opposite of Marvin, because this guy can actually knock out people, and he has had some wins by submission and decision, but most of his wins have come via knockout. The 1 loss which he has come via decision. So pretty interesting, where you have a guy who is anything but a knockout guy versus a guy who has mostly knockouts on his resume. So pretty interesting matchup between these two guys. Now let's talk about some of the physical stats. So Marvin is 6 feet and Roman Dolidze is 6 feet 2 inches, so a 2 inches height advantage for Roman. If we talk about the weight, both will be 185 for this fight, unless somebody misses weight. Reach 74 inches for Marvin Vettori compared to 76 inches for Roman Dolidze, so again a 2-inch reach advantage for Roman. So Marvin is southpaw and Roman is an orthodox. If we talk about the age, so Marvin is 93 born and this guy is 88. So Marvin, we know he's the younger fighter. Really great for him getting all this experience early in his career. I can't wait to see Marvin hit his prime. Now let's talk about some of the striking statistics. So strikes landed per minute, which signifies the number of significant strikes that you land on your opponent per minute on average. That is 4.2 for Marvin compared to just 2.62 for Roman. So Marvin will have an advantage in the strikes landed department. Striking accuracy is 44% for Marvin and 47% for Roman. So although pretty even, but slightly higher for Roman, so he will have a slight advantage. Strikes absorbed per minute 3.58 for Marvin and 2.06 for Roman. So again, the strikes absorbed advantage also goes to Roman, because strikes absorbed per minute denotes the number of significant strikes that you absorb from your opponent on average per minute. So that is, the lower number is better, so Roman gets hit lesser than Marvin, so he will have an advantage in this department. Striking defense is 59% for Marvin and 57% for Roman, so a slight advantage in the striking defense to Marvin Vettori. Overall, if we talk about the striking, we see that the strikes landed per minute favors Marvin, strikes absorbed per minute favors Roman, and the striking accuracy favors Roman, and striking defense favors Marvin. So I will say pretty even on the feet. Now let's talk about some of the grappling, wrestling and submission statistics. So takedown average is 1.89 for Marvin Vettori and 2.12 for Roman Dolidze. So again, Roman has an advantage in the takedowns department. Takedown accuracy is 44% for Marvin and 52% for Roman Dolidze. So again, advantage to Roman. Takedown defense is 74% for Marvin Vettori compared to 33% for Roman Dolidze. So in this department, Marvin actually has an advantage. Submission average is 0.6 for Marvin Vettori and it is 2.1 for Roman Dolidze. So submissions, obviously Roman has a huge advantage in this department. Now let's look at some of the previous performances of these two guys. Let's start with Marvin first. So in his last fight, he lost to Robert Whittaker via unanimous decision. Clear dominant win for Robert. It was a 3-round fight. Before that, he beat Paulo Costa in a unanimous decision fight. This was a 5-round fight and a really good fight between both these guys. Striking battle mostly, and Marvin did not use his wrestling much in this fight. Before that, he lost to the former champion Israel Adesanya in their second fight. This was a 5-round fight for the belt, and again clear dominant win for Israel. And before that, he beat Kevin Holland, used his wrestling, and this was a 5-round fight, beat him pretty convincingly. It was unanimous decision. Before that, he beat Jack Hermanson, again unanimous decision in a 5-round fight. So this guy has no problem going 5 rounds, and he can even take wrestle with you for 5 rounds and not get tired. So pretty good gas tank for Marvin, pretty good chin for Marvin. He survived Israel twice now. He's not been finished by Israel, even though he lost twice to Israel. Israel has not been able to finish him. And Carl Robertson, he finished via rear naked choke in the first round. This was back in 2020. Before that, Andrew Sanchez, he had a unanimous decision, and this was a 3-round fight. So again, lots of decisions in this guy, and never really been knocked out, never really been submitted, never really finished. If he loses, it's via decision. Now let's talk about Roman Dolidze. So Jack Hermanson, he TKO'd in the second round. Pretty good win. And before that, Phil Hawes, he KO'd in the first round itself. Kyle Dawkins, again knees and punches, KO in the first round itself. And Staropoli decision in a 3-round fight. This was back in 21. And before that, he lost to Trevin Giles via unanimous decision in a 3-round fight. John Allen, a split decision. So split decision usually signifies that both the guys were pretty even, and Roman had a slight edge, that's why he won, but still it was pretty even in a 3-round fight. And before that, he TKO'd Khadis Ibragimov in the first round itself, and before that he was out of the UFC. So significantly less UFC experience for this guy Roman Dolidze. However, he has had a good winning streak of 4 fights, and 3 of them have come via TKO or KO. So 3-fight finishing streak. And if he finishes this guy, he might become the new prospect in the division, but I don't think you can finish a guy like Marvin Vettori because he has a great chin, and we have seen in the fight with Paulo Costa, the fight with Israel Adesanya, a lot of people have hurt him, but he never went down. So can Roman really finish him via TKO or a KO? I don't think so. And if we talk about the submissions, so Roman, this is the fights from 2018 December, and in all these years Roman has never gotten a sub. So can he really sub Marvin Vettori? I also don't see that happening. So if this guy wins, if Roman Dolidze has to win, he has to win via decision. I don't see him finishing Marvin Vettori. However, if we talk about the record, do I see Marvin finishing this guy? I also don't see that happening because Marvin has really few knockouts, and the subs that he have came early in his career. If you see, this is from October 2019. He just has 1 sub against Carl Robertson back in 2020, and he submitted him via rear naked choke. So I think either way, both these guys have to fight a decision, and in the decision it comes down to who has more experience. So I think obviously Marvin has a lot of experience in fighting championship fights, 5-round fights. He has won a lot of 5-round fights. He has a better chin. I think in cardio, I also think his cardio has been tested a lot more times, so he has the better cardio, I would say. And taking all this into account, if I have to pick a winner, I'll pick Marvin Vettori. And in the odds also, Marvin is a favorite for this fight. I'm picking Marvin to win via a decision. I don't think he'll be able to finish Roman Dolidze. So that's it for this video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'll see you guys in the next one.